an actual energy exchange at the cellular level.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The source explicitly states that your brain runs on ATP energy. Now, for anyone who hasn't sat in a biology class recently, ATP is adenosine triphosphate.
Yes.
It's the actual molecule that stores and transfers energy in your cells.
And that distinction is crucial. When we talk about energy drain in this context, we aren't using a corporate buzzword or some vague psychological metaphor. Your brain cells are literally burning through their ATP reserves to fire those synapses.
It's a physical resource.
Yes. ATP is the currency your brain uses to function, and it is a finite, depleting resource throughout your waking hours. The text spells out a very direct cause and effect relationship here. The more decisions you make early in the day, the faster that chemical energy drains.
Okay, wait, I have to push back on that slightly, or at least ask for a clarification here. Does the brain really treat every single decision equally? I mean, is choosing a pair of socks in the morning really burning the exact same amount of ATP as deciding to fire an underperforming employee or making a massive financial investment?
That's a valid distinction to make. The brain does differentiate in terms of the neural pathways used and certainly the emotional weight attached to a decision. A high-stakes choice will trigger stress hormones like cortisol, which adds a totally different kind of physiological load.
Right, you feel that stress physically.
Exactly. However, the foundational currency being spent, the actual ATP, required to process a choice, weigh your options, and execute a decision that is drawn from the same systemic pool. So the author's point is that 100 tiny, trivial decisions will drain the ATP tank just as effectively as one massive, life-altering one. It is the cumulative volume of choices that creates the deficit.
Which completely reframes how we think about our mornings. We tend to assume our energy is tied exclusively to the difficulty or the importance of a task. But the biological mechanism of making a choice doesn't have a filter for importance.
It doesn't.
Choosing whether to reply to a casual email with, "sounds good" or "I agree," costs you ATP fuel, just the same as drafting a complex proposal.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this systemic ATP drain is the direct biological cause of that mid-afternoon crash we established at the very beginning.
The 3 p.m. wall.
The 3 p.m. wall.